The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Knapik and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Knapik.
Welcome to the show. It is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I'm your host, Bill Knapik. Thank you for joining us here on this beautiful weekend. We are glad you're with us. As always, reminding you to go to stewart.com/radio. That's right, stewart.com/radio. That's where you could see and hear the shows. In addition, you can go back to past shows simply by going to stewart.com/radio. So let's get down to business right now as we have tremendous real estate professionals on this show today. So let's start with Cindy Boutwell. Her company is Boutwell Properties. Cindy, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here.
Well, it's good to have you. First of all, let's tell people about your company.
We are Boutwell Properties. We were founded like the month before COVID started. Dan and I have been in business personally over the past 20 years. We have a team of 11 agents right now. We have a marketing person and 2 admin staff.
Sounds pretty awesome. A team's ready to go and help people all the time, right?
Yeah.
And Dan is?
He's our broker.
He is the broker. As far as the market area, Cindy, let's give people an idea where you all spend most of your time, most of the time.
Most of the time we spend it in like the northwest side of town, typically Cypress, Hockley, Waller, Magnolia, Tomball, and Spring. That's really our biggest areas.
Now, of course, all the areas of Houston are exploding everywhere we go, north, south, east, and west, but especially this area that you're talking about, there's a lot of activity, I hear. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Since 99 came in, it's really opened up Cypress to other areas, and that's really in Hockley and Waller and all those places, too. So it's helped a whole lot.
Yeah, 99's interesting. Are you on 99 a lot?
I am on 99 all the time.
You have to watch for the rock chips. I'm just saying, I've seen a lot. I've had 2 rock chips. There's a lot of rock trucks on there.
Oh, yeah. No,
so
it's crazy.
You have to be very careful, drive strategically when you're on there. As far as let's tell people about the team approach. You have 11 agents, and also one of the things I want to cover before we start, you have such a beautiful brand new office.
We do.
That is very distinctive. So let's talk a little bit about first the team and then your office.
Well, our team, a lot of them have been with us for a while. The team that we have, we train everybody on our team. We prefer to bring on new agents so we can train them. We train them and coach them throughout every transaction. One thing we've liked is like if they want to do open houses, our team has been trained to do open houses. One thing we do a little bit different than other teams is we have buyer's agents and listing agents, and they do everything. So if you work with one of my agents, they follow you throughout the entire transaction. And some teams only have focus on just specific buyer's agents, and some just do listing agents. We train ours to be able to do everything.
And as far as I said, your office is really something to see. Let's tell people about that and how the evolution.
So last year we decided we wanted to do something different. Dan and I live in a log cabin, which is random for Cypress. And so we wanted to do something unique. So we built a grain bin office. And it's a 30-foot, 7-ring grain bin with an additional office space. And I actually designed it on a paper plate because it's round. And so I figured that'd be the easiest way to design it.
So there's no square grain bins that we know of?
No, there's no square grain bins. And so, and then we found one. I actually bought it on eBay, which was kind of random too. And Dan went up and got it and brought it back, and we found someone to build it. So it's been a lot of fun. The ceiling is kind of spectacular. It's we did 200 16-foot boards that I barn stained, and just the whole thing we designed ourselves. We had some great contractors that came in and did some of the stuff, and then we did some of the stuff ourselves.
Now, do you have a background in architecture or?
No, I'm a mom. I used to teach kids crafts. So no, I like design. I like when I go in for staging. Like I'm the person my husband always brings in for staging. And if a house is not staged well, he always brings me in to be the meanie or like, hey, can we do this? And so I do that. So I just kind of have an eye.
You have a special eye for that, and that really comes in handy in the real estate world. I'm also guessing, going back to your office, I don't know, I have not seen it or where it is proximate to whatever streets are there in Cypress, but it sounds like it's an office as people drive by and they see it's a real estate office that they might want to come in and say, hey, I was thinking about buying a house or selling a house, or I see. Does that ever happen, or can people see you from the road?
Well, we do. They can't really see us from the road. We're off of Cypress, Rose Hill, and Grant. What we do we do a lot of events on our property and a lot of vendor events. And we have a lot of our customer appreciation, so they come out and they see that we're on 2 acres and they want to be on land. And so that's been a lot of the big things is people want to be on land and want the quiet and calmness of being out in the country.
And on that note, people that are listening, right, there may be people right here in Houston that are closer to the city, maybe in the city, maybe even in the Heights. I was recently there, and there are people that are saying, hey, I want to be there outside of the city where there's land.
Right.
So for that particular buyer, and I might be one of them, for that buyer, what can be had in terms of that? Can we find land, a nice house on some land, and if so, what's kind of the price point there?
Well, that's the yes to all those questions, and then what's the price point? That's the key. That's the key. And it depends on where you want to be. So we have people that want to stay in Harris County, want to be out in Waller, want to be Montgomery. So it kind of depends on where you want to be. And then one thing we do is like people want to be on, say, 5-10 acres. Well, they don't know what 5-10 acres look like. And so because you have to maintain it. And so we'll have people come out and just say, this is 2 acres. This is what 2 acres looks like. And that makes a difference too. And so we kind of figure out what they're looking for, what they want to do. And then we kind of come up with what they want. Like if they want to be an area with trees, if they want to be an area with water. Because right now everyone wants something different. And so some people want to be close to the city. Some people want to be completely far away. And so, but everything you're going to spend for 2 acres with a house, you're looking probably $600,000-700,000 right now for the most part.
And then let's say someone doesn't want that much land, and they say, well, I have $400,000. What is in that range in any of these places you're talking about that gives you a little bit more space?
As long as you're not looking for like a newer home, you could get something anywhere from $300,000 to $450,000 for something like about half an acre.
And where would that be?
That
Magnolia
would be
or
some parts of Magnolia. Like there's a neighborhood called Clear Creek Forest. That would be it's like Hockley and Magnolia. That would be one you could look in.
Speaking of Hockley, now we haven't had anyone talk about that, I don't know when. So tell us about Hockley for someone listening.
It's just a small little area. It's got about 20,000 people approximately that live there. There's a lot of growth coming because there's a lot of land. There's not a lot of areas that flood and the tax rate is lower. So we're starting to see a lot of new construction, a lot of communities come out there. It's surrounded by, it's close to 99, it's close to 290, and it's surrounded by, it's close to Waller, so there's a lot of stuff to do in Waller. There's Daikin, which is an AC company, big plant out there. People work there, live in Hockley. There's a lot of major medical that's close to Hockley. There's a lot of businesses there, a lot of different little farms out there too.
So it sounds like a lot of things going on.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's absolutely a lot, yeah. Yeah, Waller has a lot. They actually have a big they have an FFA program. They have concerts. So there's actually a lot of stuff to do in Waller.
As far as some of the other areas, let's talk a little bit about Magnolia. Okay. What's going on in Magnolia? That's also popular, too.
It's very popular right now. They're having huge growth stuff. It's Montgomery County. Majority of Magnolia is in Montgomery, and it's got huge growth right now.
You were also telling us about a cause that you are helping with your company.
That's back in Waller, yes. So in Waller, I'm actually on the board with a company called Family Ties. It's a nonprofit that works with children and adults that have been abused and neglected. And one of the things we just finished, we're getting ready to open this end of the month, is called the Mueller House. It is a building that's going to actually house kids that have been victims or potential victims of sex trade that don't have a place to go. And so we've had, several kids, let's say if a parent's kids are murdered and that, this can happen and they don't have a place to go and they're in the high school age, it's going to be very difficult to get them into foster care. And so this is going to house, we can house up to 12 kids at a time. We have 2 rooms that are ADA. And we actually are purchasing land beside it to do for sexual assault building. So we actually have a sexual assault building, which is pretty sad.
And this is called the Mueller House?
The Mueller House, yes.
So if someone wants to help...
contact us or go on Family Ties website, and they're out of Waller also. It's off of Field Store Road and 290.
It's interesting as our city grows and there's so many people coming in and people going as well, that there's a lot of things that are happening where people need help and families need help. I guess that's what happens when so many people come. Here we are, the fourth largest city, soon to be the third, as they say. We're talking with Cindy Boutwell with Boutwell Properties.
Well, we are always looking for team members. To be on our team, you have to volunteer and be active in the community. To be a vendor for our team, you have to be active in the community. So when we have vendors contact us, I always ask them, what do you do for the community? And if they give me some lame thing, I'm like, what do you actually do in the community? So that's something that's real important to us. And so all of my team has been very active during COVID and everything out in the community.
It's a unique approach. I think it's a refreshing approach, in fact.
Yeah.
As far as the market, here we are. I want to say we're getting I always mark the end of June. That's the half year point.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
And guess what? We're getting not that far away.
Yeah.
Here comes Memorial Day coming up soon. So, but as a real estate professional, being in the profession a while, what's your feeling based on what you know and the buyers and sellers your team's contact or that you're in contact with? What's your feel for the rest of the year as it unfolds?
Well, what I've told everyone is with our team, what I'm teaching everyone, what we're starting to see now is our market's kind of going back to how it was pre-COVID. And so what I'm telling my team is you have to tell our sellers that you have to play nice. There's going to be inspections. There's going to be repairs. And you have to play nice. We're all in this together, and we need to make it work. And so what we're seeing, all of our listings are selling. Everything that we have is going off the market. Throughout COVID, we always made sure our properties looked good, and we've continued that.
Very nice. Cindy, let's tell people how they can reach you, Cindy Boutwell.
Call me anytime, 281-797-3590. We're at theboutwellteam.com, 281-797-3590.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank
and I'm
you
going to
so
be
much.
knocking at the grain silo door just to take a tour. Thank you so much. As we continue, it's time to talk to Saeed. He is with Compass Realty. Saeed, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, here you are. Let's tell people, first of all, your company, you're with Compass Realty, but let's tell people the area with Compass.
Yes, so I'm mainly in the Woodlands area. Everything in the north side of town. I actually have an office right around the corner from here as well. I just forgot my keys today, so we can't go there.
You forgot the keys, but you're so you're really covering like a lot of area.
We cover a lot of area. That's correct, yes.
Well, let's talk about the Woodlands. People, not just here in Houston, and even people in the Woodlands want to know what's going on all the time, but people outside of Houston, Texas, the Woodlands is sometimes on their mind.
We are the number one city in the U.S. We're not even a city, but as a town, we are very, very prominent in the U.S. and we get a lot of people to come into the Woodlands just because of that. At the same time, there's a lot of investment happening in the Woodlands at all times. So over the next 5 years, the whole area will change, and we will see a lot of new improvements that will put us really, really on the map.
Well, that's interesting. As far as, let's say, the last 10 buyers that you've helped, just taking a number. So how many of those buyers came to you from outside of Texas, if any?
Majority of them. So especially after COVID, I would say out of 10, we're talking 8 came from outside.
Where are they coming from?
They are coming from all over. We always say there's people from California, there's people from the East Coast, right? But to be honest, I have seen them come from all over the place just because we have such a drive in the area. We are attracting people that are able to work from home, which is really good. We have good values in town. It's a very nice area to live in. It's very unique. So people are coming from all over the place.
Well, when we think about the Woodlands, again, there are also people listening, mostly on the internet, that have not been to the Woodlands or seen it. So paint a picture of what that is, because of all the areas, and again, we have so many popular areas from Galveston, all the directions. But there is something unique. What is the drawing points for the Woodlands?
All right, so I like to compare it to Vegas or Disneyland. So without the gambling part, but
yeah, right.
We are. Let's face it, we are an artificial place, right? We were built by a company, right? We were built by the Mitchell Corporation back then as a place for the employees to live in, and now we are part of Howard Hughes Corporation.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are part of a company. So I always tell my clients, you're basically walking down a campus. It is manicured. It is perfect. Everything has been thought through to the T when it comes to the Woodlands. It wasn't just thrown together. They know exactly what they're doing. So when you look at that, the investments that are happening are so far ahead of time that they are calculating years and years ahead. So it's basically a place that is being built similar to Disneyland without the attractions, but we are building different attractions. So we're moving into a tourism attraction right now, in addition to what we have.
That's fascinating. And I would also think one of the attractions are the trees, right? Yeah, the wooded area or that wooded feel.
Absolutely. So part of it is part of the contract when Howard Hughes Corporation took over the Woodlands was to keep green areas available at all times. So there's actually a percentage.
So that's part of the planning.
That is part of the planning. I think it's about 28% of the Woodlands has to always remain green, something around that number.
Very interesting. So to me, that's the attraction, the plan. Another side note for those that don't know, but a lot of people that do travel on a regular basis, it's not far from the airport.
That is
the
correct.
big airport, we'll
Yes.
call it.
Yes. When I'm in Houston and I say I'm from the Woodlands, people are always like, all the way from the Woodlands. And it's 25 minutes. I mean, it's
All
not that far.
all those
It's not bad.
25 minutes.
It's not bad. If there's no traffic, it's only 25 minutes too.
Well,
Right.
that's true. But also there are toll roads, too, that can help you out, and even 99, depending where you're coming from. Sometimes I go beyond the Woodlands, and I'm out in Katy almost. So that 99 is a friend to the Woodlands, no doubt.
It is a friend, absolutely.
As far as, let me ask you this, real estate, how long have you been in the profession?
I've been in real estate for almost 11 years at this point.
Of all the things you could be doing, Sahir, there'd be a lot of things, a talented guy like you. What is it about real estate that pulled you in?
So I started really in the investment mindset. I was doing flips and stuff like that. And then
Before you had a real estate license?
Before I had a license, correct.
So,
and then
that's the appetizer.
It was the appetizer. And then after a while, I thought, let me get my license and at least do my deals. And then kind of got sucked into it. And I've stopped investing for a while now because of my focus on my clients and that. What I really like about it is I can be myself, but I can also gear my marketing and everything to what I like, which is a huge thing in my life. So I've geared everything towards things that I like, cars, coffee, everything that I like doing, and that is really my marketing approach.
You like cars?
I love cars, yes.
Do you have a collection or a couple?
I don't, but I actually host car meets.
What's
So-
your favorite car?
Oh, that's a very good question.
Okay, what car do you drive now?
It's a Mercedes.
Which one?
It's a G-Wagon.
What is it about the G-Wagon that people like? I'm curious.
It's very interesting. So
It's so rectangular.
It is it's very non-aerodynamic. I went from having two Teslas to the G-Wagon. And honestly, I don't know. It's a good feeling. It's a
It
big
must be
car.
the feel, huh?
Yeah, it's a big car. Doesn't drive that well. Uses a lot of gas, but at the end of the day, it's really nice to look at.
It's yours.
Yeah.
As an investor, so what I'm getting is your insight as you help buyers, and the buyer may be a family, an individual, and even an investor, that insight in your beginning in the investments, you have an insight that can help your buyers in a big way.
Absolutely. We get that a lot, that the buyer will ask more than just, more questions about the investment side of things, right? How is this going to fare in the future? What do you think about this house? What kind of changes can we make to this house to make it more attractive in the future? So that's really a nice approach that I can have. I've had properties where I torn down walls and changed things around the house, and you have that approach of knowing what to say in these situations.
And even helping the sellers too, because when it's time, the buyer that buys, sometime it's going to be time to sell. So we want to have an educated insight into, hey, when I want to get out of the property, can I make some money? What do I have to do to improve it? Those things.
Absolutely. It's very helpful because, and I tell that to people a lot of times when a buyer walks through a house, they are looking at eye level. It's similar to going to a grocery store. They place everything at
Right.
eye level. Having done it from a different perspective, I'm actually looking at corners, edges, down to the livability of the
Baseboards.
property. Correct. Trying to figure out what is wrong with the house that they are not seeing besides living in it.
Okay, you brought it up. Speaking of real estate, what about coffee? Now, what's your favorite? I'm a big coffee fan.
Oh, you are?
And
Okay,
to me,
awesome.
the stronger, no cream, no sugar. I want the pure experience of the coffee.
Yes.
So what kind are you drinking?
Oh, so I
Or
test
do you
places.
try different ones?
I try different ones, but I try a coffee place by getting a regular latte and see how is that flavor on it. because you can tell a place really well by the latte and how the beans are, how the machines are just adjusted to the coffee. So whenever the coffee tastes weird, it's really the machine and the way that they're handling it that is
So
off.
then at home, do you make a cup of coffee? And if so, do you have a certain machine?
Yes, so I actually have a coffee bar at home. I have a Nespresso, which is on the quick, just
Right,
pop it in and move on. And then I have a Barista Express, which is one of those machines where you
I'll be knocking on your door too. So
Please
I'll
do.
have that gourmet coffee. What kind of beans you buy?
So it depends. I order them online.
You
most
like
of the
a dark
times.
roast?
Yes, it's got to
Full
be a
flavor.
dark roast. Yes, it's got to be as strong as they come.
So when someone comes to visit Compass Realty in the Woodlands, y'all serve them some coffee, and hopefully you're overseeing that to make sure it's a good cup.
That is correct. But people that know me also know that I'm usually officing out of a coffee shop somewhere nearby.
Okay. Now, you mentioned you had an office right here near the studio somewhere,
That's
and
correct,
for those that don't know, we're near 610 near the Galleria, let's say, right?
Yes.
So you're right here too,
Correct. Yeah, we are actually just one block down, 4200 Westheimer.
and you're serving buyers and sellers here. So do you have a feel for what's going on in real estate, like right here as we look out the window?
Yes, let's say it. Obviously,
Inside
I'm
the
more,
loop, we'll call
inside
it.
the loop. Yeah. Definitely more comfortable in the Woodlands personally, but I have my people down here that can help so much more, and it's a great area right here, right around us.
It is. It's a fascinating area. In fact, I'm thinking that one of the benefits as you compare notes with your associates at Compass, because a lot of people in Houston, we started out saying this, and beyond Houston, want to know about the Woodlands. So when someone here at the Compass office inside the loop says, so here, what's going on in the Woodlands, you got all the info.
Absolutely, always. Definitely, the last couple of weeks have been great. There's a lot of new activity that's happening. I think a lot of people are getting adjusted to the interest rates. If you think about it, people that have had a pre-approval before at 3%, and now they are seeing 7% or 6%, they're scared. But if you're a first-time buyer that has never had an approval before, and you're getting an approval at 6.5%, it's okay, right? You can live with that. This is all you've known. And I think that this is going to set us up for a good time towards the end of the year. And then I think we'll have a strong year next year, especially if the interest rates calm down a little bit.
And also of the buyers you're serving, how many of them are investors like you used to be?
There's quite a bit of them, actually. I have access to a lot of properties that we're selling at this point, but also, a lot of investors that are looking. And because of the mindset of having been an investor, you always can connect with investors on an easier level,
advantage.
right? You have an advantage right there. So there's quite a bit of investors that are out there, and they are all cash mainly at this point. So they are capable of.
I had a feeling
scooping.
they were.
Yes.
What are they looking for?
Easily rentable properties, right? There's always a price point, a sweet spot, basically, for every area, and that's really what they're looking for. Easily rentable with a good ROI.
Sounds good to me. We're talking with Saeed with Compass Realty. Saeed,
Really, just want people to live their life in a way where they enjoy it, right? That's just what I do with my work. I live my life in a way where I enjoy everything I do for my work and for myself. So, that's why I connect all of the things that I like with real estate. So that's really what it is. And have a car show.
cars, coffee, real estate. It's all connected, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's tell people how to reach you.
Yes. So 832-803-8887. That's my cell phone number. And then obviously I'm very strong on Instagram. So it's Sahir, Said, Realtor. 832-803-8887.
Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Let's continue and talk to Alfonso Perotti. The company is the Perotti Group. Alfonso, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill, for having me here. I am Alfonso Perotti. I'm the broker and mentor for the Perotti Group with Realty Associates.
And let's tell people about the Perotti Group.
We founded the Perotti Group in 2013. I started as a real estate agent back in 2008. Residential lending, actually, 2004. So almost 20 years in the industry. And in 2013, I started a team, basically mainly focused on buyers and sellers. Recently, in 2019, we added a residential investment side. So now the Perotti Group dedicates themselves two areas. One will be residential, where we have a buying and selling team, or listing, the buyers and listing team, and we also have a real investment team, mainly helping business owners to utilize residential investment as a way to create wealth.
And your role, Alfonso, let's tell people about what your main role is there.
My main role is I'm the mentor of the whole team, either residential. And when I mean mentor, I realize that with many years, almost 20 years, real estate really is not that hard at all. What is really hard is the personal part, the relationship part. So my focus changed completely. Many years ago, for some reason, I got lost doing really well, and I become a top producer as a buyer agent. I believe so. We met in the other building maybe 5 or 7 years ago.
A couple hundred shows ago.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
So as a buyer agent, I used to average anywhere between 60 to 90 transactions a year, and what is quite a bit for a single agent. In some way, somehow, my priorities got disaligned at that time. So I realized that you do have to, I would say that the industry really doesn't burn you. What it really burns you as a person that practice real estate is you some way, somehow forgot why you started practicing real estate. And once I align my priorities in life, meaning that what's important for me, then I start having more time. I start attracting different type of team members. And then for my whole focus went from being a manager and a boss to more becoming a mentor and helping our team to make the right choices. Because they say that you always hear life is about work, balance. Really, it's about choices. And your choices will determine what type of life you're going to have. And that's what I enable. I help our team members, what I consider them as business owners. So I'm their business partner. I inspire them to make the right choices on a daily basis. That's what I do.
That's a big job, too. It's a big leadership job.
Yes. My main focus is instead of making money, you should be working on making yourself first, and then everything else will fall in place. Of course, we choose real estate as a trade, but that's not who we are as a person. And that's a big difference. In some way, somehow, we all, and I'm the first one to actually do more mistakes than anybody else. We get lost there, and life just pass by.
Well, give us an idea of your perspective on the marketplace right now.
It really depends if you're buying or selling. If you're asking about the real estate market, my perspective is that we are in a great market. If you really take COVID years, meaning 2020, 21, 22 out of the equation, and you compare month by month, the last 6 months, compare those years, the market is still going up strong, around 10% more in sales. Inventory means how many properties are available if nothing new gets listed, and the buyer, how many months will take the buyer demand to absorb all the properties. Right now, I believe so it's at 2.7 months. Back in 2019 and 2018, we were at 3.7 months. What that means, we have 30% less inventory than 2019. And I don't see much inventory coming due to the fact that most home sellers refinanced their mortgages 2 or 3 years ago at 2%. So basically, a seller that's going to put a house in the market today is a seller that has to sell, either because something changed on their life, relocating mainly, or they need they're downsizing.
However, let's tell people, there's an event that you have coming up or you're a part of. Let's tell people about that.
Yes. At the Parodi Group, on the buyer side, we follow a system that we name it 2x4, but means 2 to 4 real estate system. What mainly focus the agent role in 5 activities, 5 income producing activities that once they follow those activities in a daily basis, monthly basis, weekly basis, eventually they will be generating 2 to 4 new home buyers weekly. My definition of new home buyers are buyers that actually have got mortgage approved, or if they're buying cash, you have you do have proof of funds that they're buying. And for us buyers, we mainly focus on our residential team. We focus mainly in primary residence. So they actually do buy in less than 3 or 4 or 5 months. And with that system, really what it does, it creates time. As an agent, sometimes you do so many things that you think you're doing something, and the only thing you're doing is you're doing. After 20 years of doing too much, I narrow it down to 5 activities, what are calling time, meeting lenders on a weekly basis, open houses, network events, and videos. Those 5 activities on our system take less than 10% of the given time that you have a year. In the year, there's 8,760 hours. If I add how much time we assign to those activities, it adds up to 792 hours a year. So basically, you create all your income in less than 10% of the given hours that you have a year. So what does that does for an agent? It creates time for them, so they can focus the time that they have free to what they really want to focus in life, their family, their goals, their hobbies. Of course, you still have to work the operational part, what is showing homes and negotiating. But usually, the reason why many agents have a time management, they have opportunity to work on their time management skills, is because they don't know how to differentiate between income-producing activities and operational. Most of the times, agents think that they're creating income when you're doing showings, when you're negotiating, when you're going to a closing. And most of those activities are actually operational. Income is only create like life, labor, when you create a new opportunity.
So it's very important to have a system. But again, you have an event coming up.
Absolutely. The
Let's tell people right quick.
The event will be in Champions School of Real Estate. It's going to be on June the 7th. For more information, they can go to Eventbrite and look for the Parodi group, or they can go to get2x4.com, get2x4.com. We have been teaching this class almost 3 years. It's always overbooked, sold out. On average, we get around 100 buyers, agents, or more attend to each event. And it's going larger and larger. We do have quite a few sponsors. Stewart Title is one of our sponsors. Thank you for that. And we're looking forward helping others. If you're an agent and you're listening to this, hope you are, come to the event. You never know the power of showing up. Sometimes your life can change when you decide to show up, and it might change the direction of your life.
So it sounds also like the material presented here is field proven. You've had this for several years. So you're seeing the people that go and as you're teaching, you're seeing results, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Even for the people that goes to the classes, they have reached back to me. Hey, Alfonso, I practice this. It works. The system, the nice part about the system is simple. And when I mean simple, it's not easy. It's simple. It's simple to make your bet. It's simple not to make your bet. It's all about choices. It's tangible. Any agent and any budget can do those activities. And it's effective because it actually will speed up the cycle, the process. You are always working on income. Therefore, it's like they say, if you always hanging around the barber shop, eventually you're going to get a haircut.
Always there.
If you always hang around income-producing activities, you will create income.
The website is get2x4 or 2x4.com.
Absolutely. You can reach me at 713-530-2455, 713-530-2455. You can find this event at Eventbrite. Just go to Eventbrite, type 2x4 Real Estate System. The event will pop up there, and make sure that you reserve because it's about to be sold out again, and we still have 4 weeks to go.
Get in
Absolutely.
early. Thanks for being with us, Alfonso Perotti, the Perotti Group.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance. With a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers, Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. Here he is with Stewart Insurance, John Bramlett. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill.
Here we are. You like coffee too, don't you?
I do like coffee, yes.
I love coffee. I usually have at least
I'm
two
not
cups
quite,
a day.
I'm not that quite much of an aficionado, but I do enjoy coffee, yes.
Well, but you love insurance even more.
Well, absolutely. I like coffee. I love insurance.
As everybody does listening to this segment every week, we get so many emails, more insurance, more insurance. So here we are once again delivering what people are asking for.
So on May the 3rd, the Dallas Police Department and the city of Dallas were hacked by a cyber criminal and held ransom. So the city of Dallas and the Dallas Police
real?
Department, for real,
Wow.
on May the 3rd, were hit with the ransomware attack. So think about it. They had to cancel trials. The Dallas Fire and Rescue Group had to go to manual dispatch versus online dispatch. They lost all their online dispatch capabilities. They were fortunate they were able to maintain 911.
And keep the jail locked too.
Yeah,
I mean,
keep the
it's
jail-
automatically there.
Yeah, but think about it. If the ninth largest city in the U.S., that city government and the police department for the ninth largest city in the U.S. can be affected and be hacked by a cyber criminal, think about our businesses, how easy it would be for them to get a hold of us as a real estate broker or a realtor or title and attorney agent or a property management
Even
firm.
an individual.
Exactly, even in an individual. So I think it's important that we go back and take a look at cyber liability coverage and what are some of the things that it can offer a real estate business owner. So from a broad perspective, there are a couple of coverage options. So it'll take a look at data breaches and then some other cybersecurity issues. In essence, what a cyber plan will do will help recover the costs for a data breach and help recover the costs for a cyber attack. Those kind of costs could include the loss of income because of a cyber attack, that you're not able to do business. The cost to notify your clients that have been affected. So if your real estate brokerage firm or your property management firm is hacked, at some point you're going to have to notify your clients that were affected. So the cost of notifying them, potentially the cost of recovering data that's been lost, or the cost of replacing or covering or repairing the damaged equipment. And then there's also wire fraud coverage. So from a very broad perspective, that's what that can look like. If you narrow it down a bit for some examples, so things like forensic investigations. So where did the cause come from? What was the actual cause? So a forensic scientist can go in and determine, was it your system where you hacked? Was somebody else hacked that you were doing business with? So is a first-party issue or a third-party issue? So they can take a look at that. Any litigation defenses that you might have, because even if you were not at fault, there's still going to be some legal expenses. So
And time.
regulatory expenses, if there are any fines, crisis management. So we talked about the aspect of notifying affected clients that this has happened. There may be some things that you need to do from a crisis management perspective to help restore the reputation of your firm. So there's some built-in costs to help with that. The cyber extortion. So if there is a ransomware issue, work you through that ransomware process. And as we've talked about in the past, that's really the not the most common, but the fastest growing type of cybercrime is the ransomware, where the bad actors are coming in and saying, Bill, we have all your data. And if you don't pay us X amount of money, we're going to release that data onto the web. The other thing that we're seeing that the bad actors are doing when it comes to ransomware is they'll say, Bill, we have your data. But the other thing is they'll call your clients and say, Alfonso, Bill doesn't, we've got all Bill's data. And if Bill doesn't relate, if you don't force Bill to release his data, we're going to release your information to the web. So again, that's just another way to take a look at it, this idea of betterment. so the repairing or the replacing of the equipment. And then in some instances where you're a real estate firm where you handle financial transactions and you handle money, so title agency, an independent title agency, sometimes property management firms, you want to take a look at some first-party coverage. So coverage for the insured loss of their assets. So the person that has the policy, that has a plan, the loss of their assets, or a third-party coverage where it's a loss of assets to another party, but it's caused by your system being hacked.
Well, the good news is that for real estate broker owners far and wide, not just in this room, not just in this city, but someone could be in North, South Carolina, even California. Somehow we talk about that so much. Right there, you're helping broker owners all over the United States at Stewart Insurance.
Absolutely. So we work with independent title and attorney agents, real estate brokers, property management firms on their cyber liability coverage across the U.S. And we can help with some recommendations on how to minimize those risks. And in many cases now, our insurance partners are declaring that you need to take those tasks and those activities to minimize those risks before they'll even consider covering you. So we can work with you on what those risks or what those tasks are that you can do to minimize the risks. And then we can work with you on finding the right insurance partner to then offset those risks with the proper coverage.
In fact, I'm reminiscing years ago when we first started. I don't know when it was, but we've had FBI agents on the show, cyber that worked the cyber beat, so to speak. But from then, and here we are, show 477, hundreds of shows ago, yes. But the landscape of the cyber crimes have changed since then. I would also think the participation by broker owners and the way they're now way more aware of it, that they're involved and they're really taking this seriously, I would think.
Absolutely. So when I was getting ready for the show, I was doing some research, and I went to one of our insurance partner sites and was reading some of the documents that they had and some of the white papers they had regarding cyber coverage. And one of their comments was, it's not a matter of if it happens to your business, it's a matter of when it happens to your business.
That's the scary part, right?
Well,
there.
It is, but think
you
about
gotta be ready.
But think about our industry in particular. If you're a real estate broker, all the different data points that you have on your clients, all that information that you have on your clients, and then think about your team. Your team is not in an office plugged into a secure server 24/7. They're out in the field doing their job. So they may be stopping at a coffee shop.
Coffee shop.
You know, it could be it could be working from home.
Right.
But again, you've got people on phones, people on their laptops that are working that are more vulnerable than we would have been 10 or 15 years ago. So they recognize that all that data that we have, and then if you're a title agency or an attorney that practices and does the closings, not only do you have all that data, but now you've got funds that you're responsible for. Or if you're a property management firm and you're collecting rent, or you have funds in an escrow account to help with minor repairs that you're responsible for, that the owner has given you, there's another reason why a bad actor is going to go after your company.
Once again, John, you've given us a lot to think about. What should people do?
Well, if you want to be properly insured and at least have the discussion about what those risks are from a cyber perspective and are there options available for coverage, we'd be happy to help you. You can reach us at 866-798-2827. That's 866-798-2827. You can learn more about us at stewartinsurance.com. If you'd like us to help you out and be properly insured on your personal insurance, your home, your auto, your wind, your flood, your motorcycle, that boat you're going to buy, you can reach us at 866-798-2827.
And the website is?
stewartinsurance.com.
Thank you so much, John Bramlett.
Always a pleasure, Bill.
I'll say it one more time. Stay close to your Stewart Title Business Development Officer. We have several here, but not a lot of time. But first, Shelley Keller. She is with Stewart Title. Shelley, let's tell people about your offices at Stewart, and thanks for bringing us here.
Yeah, hey Bill. So I'm the marketer for our Woodlands and Willis/Walker County office. We have the largest commercial officers in our Woodlands office with 3. We have 2 escrow officers with a combined experience of over 40 years. And then in our Willis office, we have over 30 years of experience. So you're looking at people who pretty much know exactly what they're talking about.
No doubt about it. A lot of transactions, a lot of knowledge in both residential and commercial.
Correct. I mean, you've got it everywhere. You've got residential, so you can't just, rely on houses. What if you are a business owner and you need more room? So you'll definitely need to look in on our commercial officers and have them help you out with maybe getting a warehouse or, a leasing building, something of that sort.
All kinds of great things. That's why real estate is so fun. There's so many manifestations, so many opportunities to have something we live in, invest in.
Exactly, Bill.
Let's tell people how. Did you like that? So here. You brought them
I see
here.
what you did there.
I like that. So in the meantime, let's tell people how to reach you, Shelley Keller.
You can reach me by email at Shelley, SHELLEY .Keller, KELLAR @Stewart.com. My mobile is 346-831-4312. 346-831-4312.
And also in Cyprus, Kim Dawkins is here. Kim, let's tell people about your Cyprus. We have incredible offices all over. I'm so excited to have 3 of them represented here today. I'm going crazy.
Woohoo. So I have 3 now escrow officers. I don't know if you know that.
I did not know.
We just hired the amazing Crystal Goldie. So she is at our office as well now. So she's awesome. And then, of course, Marby Phillips is our Spanish-speaking escrow officer. And Sharon Bristow, who is just a local celebrity, she's there as well.
Doing tremendous work. And the new person is
Crystal Goldie. I think a lot of people know her. Yeah, she's been around for over 20 years.
Incredible. How can people reach you, Kim Dawkins?
Okay, my cell number is 713-203-8640, or you can email me at kim.dawkins, DOCKINS, @stewart.com.
And the phone number again is?
713-203-8640.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Kim.
you.
Great to see you again. And now, Martha Palmer is here. Martha, let's tell people about your office.
Hi, Bill. Thank you. I am at 19450 Highway 249 out in the Houston area of Champions.
Champions.
We
are the
champions. We are. So I have 2 wonderful escrow officers with probably over 30 years experience. I have multilingual processors, and we are actively looking for another experienced commercial escrow officer or an experienced multilingual, bilingual escrow officer.
So let the word go forth, and let's tell people your phone number, Martha Palmer.
My number is 832-237-6996. That's 832-237-6996.
Thank you for being with us. She is back. Cindy Boutwell, Boutwell Properties. Cindy, welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
So here we are. Before we leave the show or close the show, what else do you want people to know?
That we've been around. I've been in the business over 20 years. Both my husband and I, each over 20 years. We love our community. We love the area. And most of our business is based on referral. And so that's how the customers that we've been working with are past clients for life.
Helping the community in a massive way, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Every chance you can.
Yeah.
How many dogs do you have?
We have 5.
5.
6 would be hoarding. So 5, we're good at 5.
You got to keep it down at 5. So give us a sign. What are the different, all sorts of dogs? What kind?
They're all dash hounds, little mini ones, except for our last one. He's not really one, but we call him one. He's kind of a mutt, but
right.
We just pretend he's one.
That's like my little Elvis. He has some dash hound in him as well because that's a longer dog.
Yeah. Yeah, they're longer. He's longer. He's unique.
Right.
So
Fascinating. They all have a different personality. Cindy Boutwell, what would you tell buyers and sellers out there if you just had one thing to tell them?
If I just had one thing to tell them,
just one thing.
I would tell them to find a realtor that you know and trust to help you find a property. Work with a lender that you feel that's been referred to you or you know and trust, and then don't pick the first house that you find. Make sure it's what you want.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Let's
Absolutely.
tell people how to reach you.
My cell phone, 281-797-3590. And you can also email me, Cindy@theboutwellteam.com, 281-797-3590.
Thanks for being with
Thank
us.
you.
I will be knocking at your door sometime soon.
Good. Come
He
see
is
us.
back. Sahir Saeed, Compass Realty. Sahir.
Hey, Bill.
We're going to get that coffee sometime. But in the meantime, as we close the show, what do you want people to know?
Let's talk about coffee, actually.
Go ahead.
All right. So, like I said, I do host a car meet, and it's every second Saturday of the month at a coffee shop, which is Hebrews Coffee up in Magnolia. Now they have a Woodlands location, and it's called Electrics and Exotics. So everyone is welcome. We tie it all in with the real estate part because it's a great networking event.
So all the three great things, real estate, coffee, cars. So while we're talking about and relaxing and looking around, we can be looking at some cars.
Absolutely.
So how do you know what kind of cars will be there? Do you know that? Do you set this up? Are you part of the...
Yeah, it's my event, so I do set it up.
How many cars are usually at an event?
About 40 to 50 cars. And it's very random. We'll have everything from
Old cars,
yes,
vintage,
Ferraris, electric cars, and we also have Tesla bring out test drive vehicles as well.
You know, I saw a new Corvette. I thought it was a Lamborghini. That's how out of touch I am on the product lines here lately.
A lot of people get confused with those.
But
Yes.
there's some beautiful cars out there.
There is, yes, and it all ties in with the real estate part because we have a lot of lenders and title reps actually show up too with their green BMWs.
Let's tell people, Saeed, how they can reach you.
Definitely through my phone. That's 832-803-8887. And then I am all over social media. 832-803-8887.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Bill.
He's back. Alfonso Perotti with the Perotti Group. Alfonso, before we close things down, what do you want people to know? You want to tell them about the event again?
Yes, absolutely. Either you are an experienced agent or a new agent with 20 years of experience in real estate, I realize that most agents, it's not like they don't want to win and exceed and excel in their career. They just don't know how.
Well, we all need guidance sometimes, right?
Absolutely. And with so many failures, in the last 20 years, I realized that most of the errors that I was doing were errors on judgment, small decisions that they're so small that you don't feel it, and you repeat them every single day until you actually do feel those. So in order to create a new habit, first of all, you have to recognize and take yourself out of the equation and look at what are you doing in a daily basis. In the Perotti Group, we mentor agents with a proven system that is tangible, simple, effective, and creates time. Anybody can make money. Not too many can make time.
Yeah, you can't make time. And, of course, you're teaching this system. Let's tell them about the event and how they can reach you.
Absolutely. To find the event, just go to Eventbrite, search for 2x4 Real Estate System. That is 2x4 Real Estate System. The event is free. It always gets sold out. It's for buyer agents, loan officers, or anybody interested in real estate in the industry. You can call or text me at 713-530-2455, 713-530-2455, or go to theparottigroup.com. That is theparottigroup.com.
Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you all for listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik. As always, go to stewart.com/radio. That's right, stewart.com/radio. You can see and hear the show and access many years of great entertainment, inspiration, and information right here on Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. So have a great week. And again, stewart.com/radio. And of course, at Stewart Title, we're there to help you with your real estate needs. We'd be honored to be stewards of your real estate transaction anywhere here in Houston or far beyond, as we're an international company traded on the New York Stock Exchange as STC. Stewart.com/radio. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.